What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome back to MKO Pugilism, aka MKO Boxing, where we talk all things boxing. Do remember to like and subscribe on YouTube. Give us a follow on TikTok. Every little helps, as Tesco says. So, yeah, let's get into this one. Over the weekend, some of the action saw Andy Cruz lose for the first time against Raymond Muratalla in an attempt for the IBF Lightweight Championship of the World. And this was a fight that was entertaining. It was close for the most part, but I just felt personally watching it that although in the early stages, some of the better work was being done by Andy Cruz, I felt that throughout the fight, Muratalla was sort of the volume puncher in there. He was the guy that was edging Andy Ruiz on work rate. So he done well. He used his experience and his professional know-how, because we know Andy Cruz is and was an exceptional amateur. He stayed in the amateur system for a very long time. He's 30 now, and this was only about his seventh fight, so he had not didn't have much experience in the pros. He was boxing at a good level though, so far as a pro, because he's one of those amateurs that, much like Vasily Lomachenko and I suppose Guillermo Rigondeaux, fellow Cuban, and some of these others who are very, very good amateurs, they obviously, and they're sort of late 20s when they turn over, they like to fast track. They want to be fast tracked, and that's totally understandable, because some of them have done kind of semi-professional boxing, that WBSS, where they're sort of semi-pros, no vest, no head guard, stuff like that. So a lot of them, with all their achievements, they get fast tracked, and that's what happened here with Andy Cruz. But in this case, it unfortunately backfired, as the sort of experience and obviously the more rounds boxed by Muratalla just sort of told in this fight. And overall, it was kind of nip and tuck. I kind of had it to Muratalla by a couple of rounds, maybe two rounds, maybe four. Would give or take around that sort of thing, like 7-5, 8-4, that sort of score. So I felt the judge with the 118, 110 card, I think it was, I felt that was a bit wide, but yeah, the other one had it as a draw. The other one had it by, I think, 116, 112. I thought that was quite a fair reflection of the fight. Because Andy Ruiz, yes, he was flashy in parts, and he was looking around sometimes and doing a bit of showboating and whatnot, but just the overall sort of activity, landed punches, were done by Muratalla. So Andrew Ruiz, he did give a good account of himself. He boxed well, but simply what it was he just didn't quite do enough activity wise to persuade the judges, or even to persuade myself, because he was having his moments in spots, showing good flashes of activity, but ultimately Muratalla was always the one, excuse me, kind of throwing more and landing more. He was the active guy. Effectively, he was just much busier, and it's like, even if you are doing the better work, if the other guy's outlanding you consistently, then you're going to be losing the rounds. And I think for me that's what happened. I didn't see Cruz in any sort of major danger there, and I think to stand a chance to win this fight, he probably needed to step on the gas a bit earlier. He probably needed to, at least in my book, push Murtaza back a little bit more. I felt that could have persuaded the judges, a bit more activity, and push Murtaza back. But that said, it's no disgrace. It was very ambitious. It's very ambitious the way he's going in his career. World titles, 7 fights in. And yeah, ultimately it's no shame, no disgrace to lose here. And ultimately he just needs more activity, more fights. And I think the more fights he gets, the more pro experience he gets, the better he's going to become. So I think, as Boxing Beats and Rhyme said, like if this was Andy Ruiz, 10 fights down the line at maybe 16 fights in, or 15 fights, 16 fight, around that sort of, another 10 more fights experience or whatnot, then this could be a different ball game, and he would be beating someone like this. But I suppose the lack of rounds, this was his first and only 12 rounder so far, and the first time he's been to this distance, and I suppose you could factor that in too. But at the end of the day, with standout amateurs, this is the gamble you take. These are the type of risks they took. The same thing with Lomachenko. I think he fought for a world title within his third fight. So we've seen this sort of thing before. But yeah, I think Cruz, he took the defeat in his stride, and he can come back again, and hopefully come back stronger. He's certainly got the talent and the gift, the ability to be very good in the pro game, and this is a roadblock, and time will tell. Time will tell, really. What's gonna tell us how good he is how he now comes back. He's taken the first loss, and how he comes back from this will tell us the real Andy Cruz, and tell us exactly how good he is. So yeah, we'll see what happens next. Congratulations to Muratalla. Good win for him. And until next time, it's MKO Boxing, over and out. Let me know your thoughts.